the pedal to the metal. Obviously, our offense is really clicking. I think we're doing a much better job with our spacing, and we're making more quality movements and less quantity movements. I think for a while there we were just making movements because it was the right read and it was the right play, but now we're really looking for scoring opportunities, and it helps when you shoot the ball really well, and you shoot 50% or from the field and 47% from three. It just opens everything up for us. So defensively, I thought first quarter, they were really attacking what we did well. I thought the last 3 or 4 minutes that first quarter we figured some things out, and then overall defensively, I was satisfied. There's a few things we want to get better at. Our rebounding took at least a step in the right direction, I think, but still some things we want to get better at and we'll need to get better at for a tough road trip.
What did you tell them after the loss last week when you only get 48? And what was that message after that game? And because, you scored what you scored here in the last couple of games.
There's sometimes when you've got to really make a big deal out of games, and there's sometimes when you don't. And what I told them is the main thing we need to do is forget that game. Now, we will most definitely revisit it before, even our South Dakota trip and before we play South Dakota State again, kind of come back to it after some things have sunk in. We were able to calm down about it. But sometimes in the season, you just have to be able to forget about things. And honestly, that's the hardest thing to do. But we've got a really mature team with so many seniors. So I'm proud of the way, I thought our mentality and our psychology was really good, the whole week of practice. And of course we had that really fun game on Thursday and then another high offensive output again tonight.
With Michelle, is there something because it seems like when she scores big. That's just kind of the way, she's got a feast or famine. Is there something you see with her between games, or is it her just doing something as simple as seeing the ball go in a couple times during the game and she's just off and running?
Well, the big thing is yesterday was her birthday, and she's just a year more mature, and I think that was a difference for her. And I sang her a beautiful rendition of Happy Birthday, probably one of my best performances ever, and I think that just kind of got her going. But, with Michelle, she's just been such a consistent player over her 5 years really now that it's been. And I think the main thing with her is really having her birthday. It was really neat to just kind of reflect back to, 5 years is a long time with a kid, and look back at where our program was 5 years ago and how she's seen all these changes. What's been going on in my life 5 years ago, and kind of seen how I've progressed maybe as a coach and a husband, a father, and everything else. And then for me to get to see that in her, and she was a pretty mature kid coming in, but just kind of her confidence has grown, her leadership. And, the thing I'm most proud of is she's able now to really bounce back. I think a couple years ago, for sure, it seemed like once she kind of got in a rut, she was in a rut. But now it's like if she has a bad game, it doesn't necessarily affect her the next game. And you saw that tonight. She came right out of the gate and played with confidence. So I think that year maturity was the difference for her.
Because she's someone who came here, she was a shooter. That was primarily what you asked her to do. And then her role has changed to where she's kind of in the middle of your defense now. And then good to see her get back and kind of be an offense player to bring that offense back to our defense as well.
Yeah, what I liked about Farrow, and it's actually really funny, is that was when I first kind of fell in love with the Wisconsin Lakers. And, I'll tell this, and she's standing back there, I was watching Olivia Braun. She was like my player, my first year out recruiting, that I just absolutely loved. Everything about her would fit perfect for our system. And, Liv wasn't quite as interested in us. But the more I watched, the more I got appreciation for Michelle. And I think a lot of coaches miss that. I think we were her only D1 offer. But I had to watch, by the 7th or 8th game, I was like, man, that Farrow, she just does everything right. She does all the little things. She can shoot it. She's a good athlete. She moves well. She defends well. She rebounds. She's strong, And I really got an appreciation for her in the recruiting process. So I think, when we brought her here, she was just kind of that kid that could do a little bit of everything. And she has really anchored our defense. I think she's done a good job. I think Mallory Boyle kind of anchored us from that rover spot. And I think now Farrow anchors us from that rover spot a lot this year.
What was working for you early? And did it just kind of keep building from there, do you think, the momentum?
Yeah, I would say so. My teammates did a really good job finding me on the three-point line, and they weren't getting out. So once you hit a couple and they're closer to you, I just feel like you were more comfortable shooting.
Do you guys notice when a team is trying to take either a certain player or a certain attacking away from you guys out there, and you think, okay, well, we've got 5 shooters on the floor at all times. Go ahead and we'll just take our chances.
Yeah, definitely. I think you can feel the pressure more in certain games. I think teams, based on how each of us have played the past few games before, they try to play tighter on one of us. But like you said, pick your poison, because whoever you try to take out, there's going to be 2, 3, depending on how they play, other players that can knock down shots. Or if you're playing tight, then we'll look to backdoor cut, drive, those type of things. So.
What is it about this defense? And like I said, just ask Coach Wood, whatever it is you guys are playing. What is it that you want to do with it, and how is it working right now, do you think?
We just want to disrupt their offense pretty much, scramble around, get steals, speed them up if we can, so we can be good in transition, because we do well when we're in transition. And yeah.
Does it seem like you've been here 5 years? You brought it up. Does it seem like it's been that long? And what's this been like for you, during this time?
It's definitely a long time to be here, but it's gone by really fast. I'm really glad I did redshirt my freshman year, recovering from an ACL tear. But it's been amazing seeing them coming in a program that wasn't doing very well. It's going to be a rebuild program, and then being here to win a conference championship and go to the NCAA tournament. It's bittersweet, and I'm glad I was a part of it.
How good does it feel to play this well on the day after your birthday?
It feels pretty great, yeah. And it's nice, because thinking back in high school, this was like I tore my ACL the day before my birthday, and that was the end of my senior year. So playing really well today, right around my birthday, was great.
Taylor, what was the message after you guys lost last week, and how's that kind of translated to offensively how you guys have played this week?
I think really it was just it was kind of a game that we had to put behind us, because we had a quick turnaround with 2 games again this week. And I think we just kind of decided that we would come back to it when it came to playing them again. So then the focus forward was working more on, I think, our defense first. And I think when our defense is going well is when that fuels our offense. So we made some adjustments in our zone that have been working pretty well for us, and then that translated into our offense, I think, just moving well together and playing well.
Is that hard to put behind a game like that? I mean, with where you were at and who you guys were playing, was that a little difficult to do?
I think so, yeah. The first couple of days that are after it, I think especially until you get to the next practice, you kind of think about it a lot and think about what went wrong and think about how it could have gotten to that point. But then we get a talk from coach, and when he's positive at the beginning of practice and telling us that we need to move forward, it kind of helps us players, realize that it was just one game, and we have so many games to go yet, and that one game didn't determine anything for how we'll do this season. So we just got to move forward and take it one game at a time now.
You guys have a pretty big game coming up next. What are you looking to most kind of not necessarily change, but what are you looking to focus on so it doesn't end up like last time?
Definitely focus on rebounding and working on offensive movement. That'll be really great for us. And just playing with confidence. We were able to knock them off last year at their place, and we think we can do it again.
You guys took a season high in three-point attempts tonight, and you guys 18 last game, 19 now. Is the three-point shot, is it going to keep you just more and more, or are you guys kind of maybe veer towards more of that inside game next time?
I think we always look towards our threes because we know we have a good three-point shooting team, and we are always obviously happy when they're falling, but we also want to know that if they're not, that we can use our driving game. And we do have other parts, like Coach Gravina always says, get you a girl that can do, or a team that can do both. So be a team that can, shoot the threes but also drive and get to the free throw line. So we're not going to exactly focus on it, but it's always something that we do, hopefully do well, and if not, then we'll do our other things that we do well.
Just out of personal preference, does it feel better when you guys hit a three, or if you make a really good move and put it in close to the hoop?
Personally, I shoot more threes, so I guess it'd be hitting a three. A good three. I think it depends where the game is at, but a good three always feels good, but also getting an and one feels pretty cool too.
You guys went from 48 to 110 plus and now 97 again tonight. What difference does a week make with you guys, and what is the difference going from below 50 to absurd numbers?
I would say getting our confidence back. on offense, and when we focus on defense, then that turns into our offense, and then it comes easier on offense. When you're just not thinking and you're playing hard, then it goes well.
Now, Taylor, you had 6 steals, which matches your career high for the 3rd time now, but you also had 4 personal fouls. Are you planning on keeping this intensity up for later games with the risk of fouls, or are you going to kind of bring it back just a little bit from poking the ball away?
Well, coach tells me keep your intensity, keep going at them. Just got to kind of pick my opportunities a little bit better. A couple of them are kind of dumb fouls from behind, so I think just kind of getting smarter at when I try to swipe and not, but still definitely keep up like my pressure.